What we will learn today, actually, I will give you a quick introduction about how we can add the defined business roles within Dataverse. Also, we will see how we can create it or from where can we create it, and what's the main component of business role. So, for me, actually, I really prefer to talk about the topics while I'm doing a live demo. So let me open the portal. So as we know, if you want to open or if you want to go to Dataverse, the right place actually under Power Apps. So you need to sign in within Power Apps, and from there you will be able to see Dataverse. So what's business rules or why do we need it? So actually, business rules actually are the server side. The logic that is we use it to within the Canvas or model driven application, and uh, the purpose behind it actually to set or clear the values in one or many columns in table. And also they can be used and validate to store data or show error messages. And within the model driven application, you can use the business rules actually to show or hide some columns. Also, if you want to enable or disable the columns that you have it, or if you want to create a specific condition, you can add it. While we are doing the live demo, you will be able to understand what I'm talking about, or how we can add it. So the main thing that we can do within the Canvas application actually, or model driven apps, first, we can set a column values. We can, as I mentioned, clear column values. Also, we can validate data and show error message. For example, if the user adds specific data to your data source, which is Dataverse, you would like to show them an error message. And for the model-driven app, we can also use business rules to show or hide columns, enable, disable columns that you don't want it to show within that your model-driven application. Also, if you want to create a business recommendation, you can use it. So let me go now, and actually I will open. If you want to go to your business rules, first you need to go to tables, because if you want to create any business rule, actually you need to select specific table. You cannot create one business rule for all your tables. So the first step, you need to select your table. For example, here, our last session, we create a table, we call it PC manufacturers. So I'm going to select this one. And as we mentioned before, once you select your table, you can add your column from here. You can manage a relationship from here. And here we can see a business rules actually. But before we jump to the business rules and create our first business rules, let me give you a quick one. Or let me give you an explanation about the main components that we have it. And you need to remember it because it's the main components that we have it for any business rule. First, we have something we call it condition. Second, we have something we call it action. And we have the scope. So the first one, condition, it's all business rules that you need to add it. For example, if I want to add, like if my data or my column equal to specific value, do this action. So the condition, it's like you are triggering something. You are looking for a specific condition based on the entry from the user that they enter to your Dataverse. And based on this one, you will be able to add an action or some logic. Like if this condition equal it something, do this action, like send me or update the column or show an error message. I'm going to show you what kind of actions that we can have. So let me now try to create the first business rule within our table. As we know, once you click on your table, you need to go to the business rule, and from there is something we call it add business rule. And once you click on it, you will be able to open, or a new page will open for you. So let's see what will happen now. So actually, it's something really easy to use. It's not complicated at all. And if you don't want to use the business rule, actually, as we know, within Power Apps, you can add your own conditions and your own rules actually by using a lot of a trick. But if you don't want to do it within the Power Apps, you can add it from here to make it much easier for you. So once you click on New Business Rule, by default, you will be able to see this one. And here you go, you can see like a new business role. And From there, you will be able to see this section. This section actually, it show you like a specific a block that you can add like a condition. Like if you have an action, you can add it here. I'm gonna show you how we can do this. And here we have the text view. It means whatever I'm adding here, it will be converted to be as a text, and we can see the condition as a text. And this one actually, if you want to make it, you can see your flow how it's look like, or your business role how it look like. And if we look at the right side from here, we have a flow and we have action. A flow, it means the condition, like the main condition, and by default you will be able to see the first condition and you need to modify it. And from there, and you cannot delete it because by default you need to have a condition. And you can see some actions here like lock, unlock, show error message, set a business required. So basically this is the main actions that we have it. I'm not sure if we can add more actions, but for each one you can change the properties like for the condition or the action. So the first one, as we know, we have by default our first condition and you need to modify it. So what you need to do, you need to click on it. And once you click on it, by default, you will be able to see here the properties for your condition. It means you can rename it. For example, here, I will call it like a check the value, or you can call it whatever you want. And the entity here, we call it, you cannot even rename it here because it's the name of your table. And the rules that we have it here, which is you can select, which is the entity here, like we have, you can select the column. I know my data, like I have a specific columns that I would like to add it as a rule within my business rule. So I wanted to check, or I wanted to add a condition. If the status for my column is equal, you can like add equal, does not equal. It's depend on your scenario. If it's equal specific value or maybe some other column, you can put a condition. But here we will select the value. And the value that I have it here, it's active and inactive. So I'm going to select active. So it means the first step, when the user is entering any data under this column, they, the business rule will check for me, is this column equal to active? And before adding any action, you need to click on apply. And once you click on apply, you will be able to see here the code and the condition here, the updated one will change. And what if you want to add another rules to your condition? You can click here and you can add more and you can change the logic, because here, if you want to add more than one, so maybe your condition and or equal. So for example, if I want to check if the value is equal active and the second column, which is here, maybe it's like, and the second condition like does not contain or does not equal to, I can add another condition like uh, true or whatever. And if you are familiar with the or and conditions or logic, and actually like I have two condition, right, within under one main condition. It means if I select and, it means the flow or the business rule will, what will do actually, they will check the two condition. And if both are true, they will proceed with the action. If both are not true, it means the action will not happen for me because it's not true. But if or, it means one of my business rule, if it's correct under this condition or true, it means the flow will pass to the second flow or the second or the action that we have it or the second condition. So let me apply it here. And within here, you will be able to see we have if statement. If status here is equal to active and this column PC manufacturers main, or maybe I would like to change it to uh, maybe this one, and let me add, or owner. For example, I can search for owner. Maybe I don't want to anyone with name May to enter the data. I don't want it to start, or I have a specific action. So how can I do this? So you can search for the owner. It will take time based on the connection. Here we go. So you can search for the user like May. I hope it will work. I'm not sure because I'm working on another environment. Okay, cool. Add. It means I have two roles now under one condition. If this column equal active and the owner, the one that who's submitting the column or submitting the value to my Dataverse through the application, mail Hadri, what do I need to do? It's up to you. For example, here, I want to do an action because after the condition, you need to add some action. And this is the main purpose of the rules that you need to add it. You can select it from here, like you want to lock or unlock. So if for example, if I'm working with an organization and I would like to give an access to only to the management with a specific view, you can do it from here. For example, if I click on lock and unlock, let me add it here, for example, here. And once you double click on it, as we mentioned, we can do and select the updated one. So what I really would like to do, if the user is equal May and the column status is equal active, I would like to like remove this column or hide it from May. And you have two options, unlock or lock. So I would like to lock it. It's much easier than doing this condition within Power Apps. So by default, when the user they start to enter their data by using a specific form within Power Apps, by default, if the user is equal May, she will not be able to see it because we have this business rule. So, and you need to remember this after you change anything or after adding anything, you need to click here, apply. Otherwise, you will not save it. So, and if we look at here, we are using if and then a statement like if this column equal to active and owner mail Hadri, do this action, lock this column. And how many action or how many condition can I add? You can add as much as you want. For example, here I can add another action like add, and you can add like another action. Even you can add another condition. And from there, let me show you if it's possible. Like you can add a condition here, and after this condition is true, we will have, but here we have another scenario. If you look at the code and if you are familiar with the if statement, you will be able to understand the code very easy. So here, if this one is true, the first row that we have it or first condition, this one will work directly or this action will happen. Then we will do this one. Else if another condition, do another one. For example, if the user is mail Hadri and she is equal to active, do this action. But I would like to do something else. So let me copy. I would like to use the same action. So I don't want to do it from scratch. You can copy actually and you can paste. And here we go, as simple as. So you can click on it, click on copy and paste it. And once you click paste, you will be able to see like the plus icon, just to click on it. So by default, you will be able to add it here and you can move it. It's easy to move it from here to here to here. So for example, if I would like to add it here and within this action, but I would like to add it here because it's like, okay, so here I would like to change it like here the condition I have it, the second one, if this one equal the first one, what I will do, if this one or this column status is equal inactive, make it the action for this one, make it like unlock to other user. So if you look at the code here that we have it, let me open it. We have if statement, which is the first one. And once this one, it's like active and the owner is May, do this one by default. So once this one is a true, two things will happen. First one, the action here will be true. Plus, from here, we will move to the second condition. But this one will happen only if the first condition is true. I don't care about this one because the action for this condition will be this. And this action actually this condition based on the first condition. You can, if you are familiar with the conditions and all this stuff, you will be able to understand how it will look like. So for example here, if this one is true, the lock and unlock, the first action will happen and will be true. And if this one actually is true also, even if it's true, the second condition will happen at the same time. It's like in parallel. Then, when this second condition is true, which is here, else if it's the condition here is true, unlock or do this one, the action that I have it. And it's fine to use the different conditions. It's fine to use the different actions. It's okay, actually. You can use as much as you want. And as we see here from the code, we are using if else if because we are using if within the if. So you just need to understand the basic thing. And for me, I really suggest to use, if you are using a Dataverse as your main data, you can use it to put a lot of conditions that will help you to avoid to write it within Power Apps. But still, you have the functionality to add your own rules within the Power Apps. I used to do a lot of application and add my own rules, even if I'm using other data source like a SharePoint or something else. So but you can use this one only for your Dataverse. But let me save it now. So after you finish from all your conditions, all your action, what you need to do, you need to click on here, save. You need to do this step. And once you save it, you will be able to see if there is any error. Is there anything that missing or you need to fix something, you will be able to see it here. And if you want to validate it, you just need to click on validate. And once you validate it, you will be able to see this message. And if it's not working or there is something you need to fix it, you will be able to see it with the red color. And what you need to do here, you have the option to make it active or inactive. So if you want to save it, but you want to make it inactive, you just need to change it from active to inactive and the opposite way. So for example, here it show me it's active. If I want to make it inactive, I need to, so here, once you click on active, it means you are making sure this one is active and you will go live with it and just click on active. Then later on, once you make it like not active, you just need to change it. Here we go. So in the future, if you want to disable this business role, you just need to click on deactive this one, and by default will be not anymore or will not work, but it will be saved under your business role. The question now here, how can I check the business role that I created? We're supposed to look at it if I want in the future to deactivate it, to delete it, to modify it. How can I do this? Once you go back to your portal Power Apps and once you select your table, let me select it again. You need to select the same table that you create your business role. And from there, the same place that we create our business roles, you need to click on it. And here we go. Actually, I created the first one as a test. So you will be able to see here your business roles with the name. And once you click on it, you are able to go and delete, edit, and do whatever you want. And if you want to deactivate it. So what if I want to deactivate the first one? Actually, as I mentioned, you just need to click on it and click on deactivate. Let's try to deactivate the first one. And it will take for a few seconds. Here we go. And let me just let's wait. Here we go. It's deactivated. I can check. Okay. Now, how we can test if our business role it's working? Actually, you can test it while you are building your application. So on upcoming session, we will start to build our applications within Power Apps by using a Dataverse. So our data source will be Dataverse, not SharePoint. We will test it out. We will see how we can add the data, how we can export it. So we will try to apply all the basic knowledge that we learned before on our previous sessions on October, and we will see how we can like build a basic application, but our main data source will be Dataverse, and we will see how the business role will work, how we add a form, gallery, all this stuff. It will be really new things for you, but we need to test it out to see how the application, the Canvas app application, will look like by using a data first, and what kind of limitation. And we will see what's the difference between using a SharePoint list as a data source and using a data first. So today will be the last session for our October month, but on November we will learn a lot of new topics. I'm gonna add all the meetup session for the upcoming one on my meetup. I will announce it on Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere. So the most of the upcoming session will be about Dataverse. Plus, we will build an application and how we can display our data in Power BI. So I will try my best to talk more about other tools and see how it will work. So I'm really excited to the upcoming sessions. I have new energy to share more things with you, and hopefully you will like my new style by how I'm sharing my knowledge on the next month, and we will see. So thank you so much. And if you want to reach me out at any time, as I mentioned, feel free to reach me out on my social media, like Twitter, LinkedIn, and all my social media. And if you have any question, feel free to ask me. And make sure to follow me on Meetup group to make sure to see all my sessions. So thank you so much. And if you have any